Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot and welcome to your reading for June. Guys, I'm so excited and inspired about this month for all of us, and the more readings I go through and the way that I see the energy working out for each sign, there's just no lack of growth. Now, I think the comfort of that growth might vary a little from sign to sign. But you in particular kind of have this upper leg because you have Jupiter in your sign. Now, it's kind of just making its appearance here. It's going to be here until, sometime around mid-July, and then it's going to sneak back into Aquarius for a few more months and then revisit your sign in December. So we're getting a little bit of a taste. But we also have a lot of retrogrades, right? Even Jupiter this month will move into the retrograde position. So there's a lot of introspection. This is what I always tell everybody when I focus on the astrology and I focus on the cards, and when all of these planets start to turn retrograde, it's going to feel like the brakes are kind of put on things. Now, we're in eclipse season, everything's super mutable. So this season is a little confusing. Welcome to Gemini. Especially because it's in your fourth house and it's like this really emotional place. And there's a tendency where you can allow yourself to get a little bit like lost in the waves, lost in the action, lost in the distractions a little bit. But because we're in this retrograde season, because Saturn is retrograde in your 12th house, each time you start to float a little further away, it's going to rein you back in. And it's going to be like lesson after lesson after lesson of your own internal habits and thought processes, and maybe even some deep introspection about your level of sabotage. Now, I'm not saying that to be mean. We all have levels of sabotage, whatever they are. Anything from like addictions, to just like subconscious habits and how we respond to people. Are we capable of giving and receiving? Like, what are our blockages? And when you have Saturn, especially when it's retrograde in your 12th house, these are opportunities to confront the blockages. The thing is, it's going to feel frustrating this month. And the thing is, universe doesn't really care. Like, it doesn't care how much you want to push forward. It doesn't care how much you want to accomplish. Like, none of that really matters. It's more of an opportunity for you to embrace the quiet, for you to embrace the solitude, because the Saturn retrograde, your 12th house, Mars moving into your 6th, this isn't such a playful time. And I think for the past couple of months, Pisces has been in this place of having to deal a lot with like the reality, like the 3D matters, the hard work, the tying up a loose ends. Like, 6th house stuff is going to come in, and it's going to be about your job, your daily activities, like cleaning the kitchen and, cleaning out the closets and organizing your pantries and all of that good stuff. It's going to be about confronting your routines. And the thing is, you have Leo there. You have Leo in your 6th house, which is kind of like this ultimate follow your heart, which is one of the reasons why Pisces is kind of so fluid. We all want to think it's because of all the emotional water being so fluid and you kind of go with the flow sort of thing. There's a lot to say about that Leo in the 5th house, because when Pisces wants to express themselves, when they want to follow that spark, when they want to fall in love, when they want to do the things, they just do, and there's very little hesitation. They're able to express themselves, and then they're able to change their mind. And so that gives way to more fluidity. And what's so interesting about this month is that you are coming up in the King of Earth. And I had to specifically create this dialogue with my guides and say, okay, is this the energy that Pisces is in, or is this the energy that Pisces should be in? Okay, laugh all you want, but sometimes there's a big difference, and sometimes they'll give me a card and this is just you being you, and sometimes it's kind of more of like this advice. And so we have this King of Earth, and the King of Earth is very steady. He's very dependable. This is not a fluid energy, right? And sometimes the King of Earth can even get a little bit stuck in his ways, stuck in these thought processes, a little bit stubborn. And we're coming up to this point in the year. June is a really pivotal month. In between all of these eclipses and all of this mutable energy, we have Uranus square Saturn. And because Uranus is direct in your third house and Saturn is retrograde in your 12th, this is all about the solid expression of self. Third house stuff, third house, 12th house, this is like your small mind, your day-to-day, how you think, how you go about doing your things, square that Saturn in your 12th house, which is that fluidity. And it's about the flow between the subconscious and the conscious mind and how you allow it to control you. They're giving me this message of like that 12th house being your subconscious mind, and the third house, it's the house of Gemini. It's which is your 4th house, but the third house is a mercurial Gemini house, and it rules the hands. And so they're showing me this, like the brain kind of controlling the hands, which is kind of like your subconscious controlling your actions. And maybe there's been a few months of like really getting into the emotional or the subconscious place. We're all doing a lot of intense shadow work. And this month is a time to make that shadow work productive. It's a time to face those habits. Okay, well, if I fall in love with somebody and then I get afraid and I back away, like that's a pattern. Falling for people that are emotionally unavailable, that's a pattern. It's not a coincidence that you keep coming up to these same situations and scenarios. And the progress is made this month when we kind of confront ourselves, right? Like there's so much about this month is like us sitting down and like having a really good talk with ourselves, okay? It's a month of epiphanies. It's a month of self-confrontation, self-analyzation, and then like how do we make it better? And the thing I love about the King of Earth is that he's not like uber sensitive. And so there feels like there's this wisdom coming over you where maybe you even lose a little bit of that sensitivity in order to take kind of the stuff, the lessons, the things that spirit or other people might be showing you and like do something about it. Make it productive, make the changes, change your thought processes, like recognize it and adjust. And the thing is, your environment is that of the Emperor. Now, Emperor card having this lion face, this Leo, and this is what it's like, Mars and Leo. It's going to feel relentless. Meaning, you're going to have enormous strength to confront your immediate surroundings, your daily habits, your routines, your job. And because it's the Emperor and because it's this Leo energy and because it's backed by that Mars energy, I feel like there's going to be, like maybe it's a moment, maybe it's a situation, maybe it's like this realization that nobody could save you but you. Nobody could change these scenarios other than you. Because see, it's not like about like the wishes and the dreams, Pisces. Now I know you've been hosting all of this Neptune and you have Jupiter, which is so funny because these two planets coming together, backing you and supporting you, and it's actually making you more solid than like what it does to the other signs. You know, like the less sensitive signs, the logical signs this month, like they're really open for different sorts of miracles. They're learning how to let their hearts open, to follow their intuition, to go with the flow. But you are learning to take the lead in your own life. You are learning how your health, your welfare, your habits, your time and resources as well, Emperor, second house, how they are all tied together and affected by your subconscious thoughts. And if you can ground them this month, you can make a lot of progress. And I have to tell you, I love a King of Earth, and I love the fact that just under here we got this Oracle card. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. King of Earth being a Capricorn energy as well. Capricorn is that mastery. It's the mastery. It's very Saturnian. It's about putting one foot in front of the other and building your own foundations. Capricorns are not known to have like super easy lives, right? Really ambitious, really driven, really born with like this innate sense of wanting to achieve something. Pisces energy is just kind of like so much more relaxed, so much more trusting, like in the overall essence of the universe. The universe is pulling you in this direction of like the 3D material plane. And I feel like because there's all of this Leo energy, it's really about the pride and having something to show for it. Now, that's not to say that like the Pisces energy has nothing to show. But I do think that there's like all of this energy of having something to show for the lessons you've learned this far. Like the things that you've gone through. Shitty jobs, bad relationships, the things that didn't work out. And I also get this feeling, again, with all this mutable energy for you, Pisces, Jupiter in your sign. Pisces struggle because they are so mutable, because they're able to take on the needs and necessities of other people, right? You can get yourself in this situation or in this group of people, and then suddenly you begin to believe in the things that they believe in. And because you can connect at such an emotional level and you just feel like the passion, it doesn't necessarily mean it's yours. It doesn't necessarily mean that those are the things that you want for the rest of your life too. And because you're becoming more and more practical, and because there's this Leo energy of like following your heart, following your spark, following that inspiration, what you truly want for yourself, there might be a little bit of tough love and maybe even some boundaries that have to be set in order for you to like really focus realistically on the things that you do want. And the end of a tough cycle, full moon in Capricorn, comes at the end of the month. So it's also indicative that this month may not be so cushy. This month may not be so comfortable. But it's going to be productive, and it's going to put an end to some things that have been going on for probably way too long. And I love, love, love that underneath this Emperor, we get this card of direction. This is what I mean. There's so much about direction. We've got direction here. We've got card number 36, lost in space, needing direction. And then we have this beautiful Eight of Wands, which is like all about finding that direction. Literally. Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body, and if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. It's all about the direction. And the thing about this month is right away it starts out here in the wrong way, right? Ten of Cups in reverse. This was the wrong way. It was the wrong thing that you may have been trying to do, something you've been trying to accomplish. Maybe this is a person that you've been trying to like repair a relationship with in some way, a friend that comes back. I mean, we're in all of these retrogrades, so I wouldn't be surprised if things didn't come back. But I think this month it's a lot more about the epiphanies surrounding it. It's not even about like that particular person. You know, there's a lot of signs that are probably going to go through a lot of healing processes over past relationships without even talking to that person a single minute. It's all about like the internal work right now. And the Ten of Cups is in reverse with the Temperance card and the Four of Wands. Like, this just speaks to me of acceptance, of the understanding, because it's also a sign like that the universe hears you. And I picked that up with the Moon card as well in your sign, and the Six of Pentacles. Like, there's no doubt the universe hears you. They heard your requests. They know what you want. They're very clear on like what you are requesting. And so every time you find something, the job, the friend, the relationship, like every time you find something that might have some of those qualities, the universe is going to say either stop or go. And if it's not the right thing, it's going to make you stop. It's not going to allow it to work out. And that's where we are in eclipse season anyways. That's where we are with the Saturn and Uranus, because Saturn square Uranus, please, we can't do it the same way. We can't go about it the same way because it's demanding freedom. It's demanding you to look at things and do things much differently so you can get yourself, like we're all getting ourselves out of these pretty serious ruts. And I don't think that you want to go through those same cycles anyways. I don't think you want to approach things the same way anyways. And I feel like this Ten of Cups is frustrating. And by the way, the Ten of Cups in reverse doesn't mean like your Ten of Cups isn't coming. You know, when something comes up in reverse, it's definitely in focus. You know, like this is you, like where is it? When is it coming? When are they going to show up? When is the offer coming in? It's definitely in the forefront in your mind, first card out. But when you want something like that, when you're waiting and you're waiting and you're looking for it, you actually create your own resistance, which of course is going to cause delays. This is the resistance. For some of you, it's going to be like the resistance. Like there's this thing that you just know, like you have your heart set on and you know you want it. And it's like almost there, it's awfully close and just not quite in your reach. You don't have control over it yet. And that's what this energy steps in to do, is to show you how to like control it. But it also means you have to accept it. You have to accept the no's. You have to trust that they are the universe's way of protecting us. So Temperance card is a promise of the universe hearing your request. And if something isn't working out, or if something isn't in delay, it's because it's just not the right thing. Or it's the right thing, but it's not ready yet. And that's okay. We have to be completely okay, because the Four of Wands is that place of radical acceptance. Now, solar eclipse this week, your 4th house, radical acceptance. There's a new start here for you in your emotional world because you're taking control. So when the rejections come in, it doesn't even make you skip a beat. And suddenly you go from like, oh my God, why isn't this working out? Why isn't this thing happening, to, oh, cool. Okay, I saved myself a lot of grief trying to force it, trying to make that be the one thing. And now I could just move on to the next thing. Because ultimately, like, the Four of Wands is your direction, right? 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands. Your direction is something very stable. And I always get an element of like magic with the Four of Wands because it's got that fire element. It's got that spark. It's got like that fatedness to it. And it also kind of symbolizes like the good life. And what I like about this card is there's every indication that you Pisces are kind of moving into a good life. And for some of my Pisces, maybe you've been in this place of like up and down and kind of like in the dark, lacking clarity, not knowing where other people stand with you, not really understanding like all the stuff below the surface. But ultimately, Four of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, it's all about your stability. It's all about like your place in the world. This is like your legacy. This is like your purpose, what you're meant to do. And in this energy, this is the strongest, most capable energy you could find. And you can't get here if you're not in a King of Earth, Capricorn kind of mastery. And because we have all of this Mars moving into your 6th house, this really is all about the mastery. Honestly, it is a great time to do like the 6th house stuff, which is a lot about your health, mental health, physical health, your diet, what you're eating. And it's like time to like really focus on you, because I think it's important to understand that the healthier you are, like the more you pay attention. And I don't know why, like they're showing me the Queen of Cups, which is always like my self-care and compassion and forgiveness kind of queen, which means we're going to go through a healing process. But I think it's just everything just moves so quickly, like 8 of Wands, everything's going to move so quickly. And it's because you're able to integrate the lessons quickly, like you get them, you have the epiphany. Uranus is going to make things happen really, really quickly. And it's communicating with that Mercury retrograde, which can bring in some very faded lessons, and like it's all about the timeline shifts. 8 of Wands, timeline shifts. And like the more balanced you are, like there's a card of balance, here's a card of balance, here's a card of balance. These are all solid foundations. And the more solid that you are in knowing what you want, the direction, right? Knowing what you want, which means, if you want the love of your life, if you want that brand new home, if you want that happy family or that dream vacation, it's probably best to go at it in a practical way. Practical, like you want to go on vacation, save the money. You want that brand new house, invest. Talk to the banks. Do the things. You want the love of your life, don't sink your energy into people you know are emotionally unavailable. People you know aren't on your vibration, because this isn't grasping, okay? None of this is about the grasping. It's very easy to understand that there is nothing for you right now that requires you to grasp and hold on to it. Because the right people are going to come, and this is like the fear. Down here, the moon underneath the Six of Pentacles, like this is the fear that the right people won't come. And that's the fear that we have to get over. And in order to do that, we have to learn to trust ourselves. And that's what I love about this Queen of Wands right here in the center of the reading. And see, because you can trust yourself, because you've learned the lessons, because you've done the things, because now you're listening and you're putting your requests out and you trust the universe is hearing you. And then the people and the things that come along that aren't going to give and receive equally as you do, which means they're not on your vibration. It means that they don't have the same dreams, the same wants, and the same goals as you. This could be a job. This could be a boss, a business partner, a lover, whatever it is. You're going to meet people and meet people and meet people, and there's going to be all of these opportunities, and you're not going to invest until you know this has the ability to give back, that this thing is going to want to invest in you too. Trusting the universe makes you magnetic. As if you can believe in the universe, even when you're not getting the things, when you don't take that personally, when you can approach it like, oh, great, that didn't work out. Thank you, universe, for making that quick and painless. And then you're able to move on. You know, this isn't like sulking in your house for 10 years or never going on another job interview or refusing to ever go on another date. Like, no, this is just like, yeah, that's how it all works. And I'm not going to grasp onto anything that isn't meant for me because I trust myself and I'm following my intuition. And here is what happens, is that things start to come in quickly and everything changes. And for some of you Pisces, there may be a return because we've got the past here. We've got this Knight of Wands and we've got the Five of Swords in reverse. Now, what I don't like is the Knight of Wands. He's not a match for the Queen, right? Could indicate that this is somebody younger, less mature, probably somebody that you're kind of waiting on to grow a little, to grow up, like to figure things out. And I see this moon here, and I know that this Knight of Wands is going to trigger you. Like the beginning of the month, you're good. You're understanding where this is going, and I don't see you like lowering yourself or your standards for anybody else. But I think this Knight of Wands character has the ability to throw you off a little because he triggers stuff with that moon. He triggers. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Ow. You know? Like this is probably conversations, at the very least, secrets, or just like the lack of clarity of the situation. And I just don't see how you being here with all this practical energy, right? Like these high standards. And like there might be a moment. There might be a moment when like you consider this. But what I feel like is it's an opportunity to reset. It's an opportunity to be like, no, this is the habit I'm breaking. This is a thing I'm not participating in anymore. Which really tells me that you're refusing to stay small for anyone. And I love that energy, Pisces. I love it because you're going to see this for what it is. There's going to be a lot of clarity coming in, and then you're free from it. Five of Swords. You're free for it because what happens is the universe wants to give you an Emperor, and so like this Knight of Wands behavior has to go. There's nothing wrong with a Knight of Wands. I mean, they're wonderful. It's a wonderful knight to have around. You know, they're fun. It's exciting. But you want stability, and a Knight of Wands is anything but stable energy. And if you keep trying to turn the Knight of Wands into an Emperor, you're probably going to be here a while. You want to be careful with that energy, because if that's where you're at, if that's the mindset, then this lesson's going to take a lot longer. Maybe a year from now and 2 years from now, you'll still be asking the same questions, looking to the same tarot readers, wondering like, is this person gonna... I don't think so. I don't think this person's up to your standards. But there's something about this person that makes you feel like you are not good enough. There's something about this Knight of Wands that throws off your vibration and makes you second guess yourself and your intuition. And I think when you start to feel it this month, the clarity comes in and boom, there's your direction. Because it's not going to be here. It's not going to be here. At least not right now. But see, your attitude, it's going to intimidate the Knight of Wands. They might come at you thinking they could play the same games, you know, like even if this is an employer and like you set a boundary and they're like, yeah, but I put you on the schedule because I just knew you'd do it for us. No, like you're not falling for it. I just don't think that Pisces is falling for any of it. And I love that the Five of Swords is in reverse, because this is like knowing this isn't your direction. Therefore, it doesn't even like deserve the emotional sting that it used to give. That rejection, it's their inadequacies, not yours. Lost in space, needing direction. And I really love this card because she's kind of looking at the whole world, like looking at the bigger picture of it all. And sometimes we can get lost in space because we're like really lost in like the ego. And the ego is all about that desire for that one thing that you just keep trying to make work, which was never really meant to work at all. And when you get into those situations, you start to lose yourself. And that is a subconscious habit that we're breaking. And then we have this Crow Spirit, card number 17, breaking down to an 8. So you've got a 9 and an 8, co-create with Spirit. And this is the transformation of the mind. Because you start to realize that all the things that you're bringing in, they're all just like mirrors of you. Mirrors of what you believe you're worthy of. when we set our sights for something better, something stronger, something much more capable, something much more dependable, somebody that will provide the kind of security, the kind of solid foundation that you want. It's not going to be because you made them do it. It's not going to be because you talked them into it, or, you want it to be because this person sees you, again, employer, friend, relationship, whatever it is, but this person sees you and they want to be that emperor. And that's how it's supposed to go. And the people that we gravitate towards that make us feel like we have to make ourselves small or we have to compromise too much in order to keep them around aren't meant to be there. And I think this process quickens, and I think that there's a lot of forward movement, and I have a feeling that July is going to be, July and August and September, the next couple of months, we get all of this energy moving into your 7th house, and there's a lot of possibility. So use this eclipse wisely to let go of the low-hanging fruit. Allow yourself to dream bigger. Allow yourself to ask for more. Allow yourself to expect more from others. And then trust it. Queen of Wands, King of Earth is like this beautiful integration of trust and practicality. Queen of Wands follows her wand, her spark. I really want my life to be just like this. And then the King of Earth kicks in and he's like, well, then we're not going to settle for anything less. And it's the perfect recipe for the next couple of months. Remember that tough cycle is ending. This is the end of a tough cycle. Life will continue to get so much easier from here. And I have a feeling that you're going to have a lot of gratitude. I always see the Six of Pentacles. I don't know why, but I'm always so overcome by the energy of gratitude. And it's not because of the gratitude that comes from here. It's because of the gratitude that comes from here. Because it's like this balance of, oh my God, I am so blessed. I have so much abundance that I'm so grateful for that I want to share it with other people. And it's a whole different vibration. And it's a whole different vibration from this Knight of Cups, or this Knight of Wands. And I think this Knight of Wands is the end of the tough cycle. Look at, he's going in this direction. You are clearly going in this direction. You are clearly supported for going in this direction. Away. Oh, Pisces, I love it. I love this reading. I'm just loving this month so much for you guys. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back in some form for mid-months because it's such a powerful month. I definitely want to get back in here and work with you guys, probably on some shorter videos. But I do hope to do all 12 signs. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful month. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.